I am Tashon Tyson in with the Ovarian Media News package for today, Monday, 7th January 2019. In our lead stories, nationally, no homicides in the last quarter of 2018, but gun violence continues. And former CCJ president underscores importance of unity. Regionally, Bulgarian charged with stealing more than $25,000 from ATM in Antigua. Internationally, U.S. budget shut down. I won't compromise on wall, says Trump. And in sports, LeBron James to miss at least 3 more games for Lakers. We'll have the details of these and other stories after this message.
Another look.
Different from how you've seen it before.
Another look.
Takes an in-depth look into business, politics, science, technology, religion, and more.
Another look.
Featuring documentaries from the BBC, regional features, and local ones too.
Another look.
Every Monday at 3 p.m. on the Eastern Caribbean's powerhouse, Vaughan.
Welcome back, and all the national news in detail. While law enforcement are breathing a sigh of relief with no homicides in the last quarter of the year, there has been a number of shooting incidents of which police are soliciting the support of public to deal with these cases. This is the first time in 10 years that there have been no homicides in the last quarter of the year. So far, there have been 2 recorded shootings, on New Year's Day here in Nevis, and the other on St. Kitts on Saturday, 5th January 2015. Jelani Liburd and Keon Moore were shot by an unidentified assailant or assailants and were rushed to the Alexandra Hospital with injuries. And one young man, whose identity has not been revealed, is reported to have been shot in the foot by an unidentified assailant or assailants on St. Kitts and taken to the JNF Hospital. Former President of the Caribbean Court of Justice, CCJ, Sir Dennis Byron, stressed the need for unity and the urgency in stamping out all forms of division. Addressing hundreds at the 2019 Prime Minister's Gala hosted by Dr. The Honorable Timothy Harris at the St. Kitts Marriott Resort Ballroom on January 5th, Sir Byron said the historical quest for unity has been a long and often fitful struggle to give meaningful substance to the underlying desire of our people to tap into our potential and come together towards a common purpose. He said that Caribbean unity has been a historical struggle since slavery to the West Indies Federation, to independence, and the signing of many regional treaties that established CARIFTA, Caribbean Free Trade Association, CARICOM, Caribbean Community, the CSME, Caribbean Single Market and the Economy, the CCJ, and the OECS, Organization of Eastern Caribbean States. He made reference to the current tripartite PAM, CCM, PLP, Dr. Harris-led Team Unity administration and stated, "The success of unity is that it only works with compromise and accountability so that in the end, the concept is greater than the individuals who comprise it." Sir Dennis Byron is a legal luminary and has been in the judicial field for 54 years and has held positions from Judge of the Eastern Caribbean Supreme Court, ECSC, from 1996 to 2006, to President of the United Nations International Criminal Tribunal for Rwanda, ICTR, from 2007 to 2011. Organizers of the free annual prostate screening drive are expecting another significant number of men to attend the screening this year. Urology Associates will host the activity on Saturday, 12th January 2019 at the occasions at Pennis. Some 622 men were screened in January 2016, 578 in 2017, and 587 in 2018. A team of urologists led by Dr. Dwayne Thwaites will conduct the screening, which begins at 6 a.m. and ends at 12 noon. Prime Minister and Minister of National Security, Dr. Honorable Timothy Harris, who was on December 26th morning among the thousands who turned out for Juve, has hailed the activity as a very good experience. Although Juve activities were brought to a premature end due to some unruly behavior from a few unruly revelers, the Minister of National Security observed that the police had acted in the most commendable manner to ensure a smooth flow of events. According to a statement from police, due to several incidents that occurred during Juve, a decision was made in the interest of public safety to restrict the event to 10 a.m. A number of the incidents were gang-related, and the others were fights that occurred during the street jam. Consequently, some 64 persons were taken into custody. Nonetheless, PM Harris hailed the police high command for updating the public in a timely manner. In more national news,
do not settle for second best. The sky is the goal. The only limitations that as a region we have are those imposed by our own imaginations. Rid ourselves of mental slavery. Rise up, stand up for our rights, and imagine that the world would be a better place when we occupied our rightful and equal space.
Former Chief Justice of the Caribbean Court of Justice, Sir Dennis Byron. Sir Dennis, a national of St. Kitts and Nevis, says this was what he called his reaching out to the youth of our people in the Caribbean. Sir Dennis was at the time delivering the keynote address at the Prime Minister's Gala on Saturday, 5th January 2019 at the St. Kitts Marriott. Sir Dennis was called to the bar in England in 1965, nearly 54 years ago, and was appointed a judge of the Eastern Caribbean Court in 1982, about 36 years ago. In police news, according to reports reaching the VON Newsline, a shooting incident occurred in St. Kitts on Saturday, January 5th, sometime after 2 a.m. Unconfirmed reports say the incident, which occurred in the Newtown area, has left a young man with leg injuries. This incident occurred just 4 days after 2 young men were shot on Nevis in the Stony Grove area. This was the first recorded incident for 2019 here in St. Kitts and Nevis. Thus far, police have not issued a statement regarding the matter nor the identity of the victim. The VON Newsline will bring you more on this story as it develops. The Ministry of Health has responded to what it says is a mischievous electronic circular by an unnamed source claiming that there is insufficiency of food stores at the JNF General Hospital. The circular indicates that this is as a result of outstanding funds owed to a local company. The release issued on Friday, January 4th, states that the executive management of the JNF General Hospital deems these claims spurious and absurd, and has condemned this falsehood as an attempt to foster negative sensationalism and to bring the institution and its administrators into disrepute. The Ministry of Health wishes to affirm that Rams Trading Limited enjoys a very good relationship with the JNF General Hospital, and, as such, the major food retailer and wholesaler has strongly condemned the blatant and glaring attempt to fracture the business relationship with one of its more valuable partners. The Ministry of Health confirms that there are no outstanding funds owed to the company by the ministry. The Ministry of Health wishes to advise all clients and the general public that the JNF General Hospital, as the Federation's premier health institution, always has adequate food stock to meet the dietary needs of its inpatient population. Persons here on Nevis who owe the Nevis Water Department have been granted an amnesty. Minister with responsibility for water services on Nevis, the Honorable Spencer Brand, says this is to allow individuals to settle outstanding arrears, which currently stands at some $2.7 million.
The numbers that I'm seeing, Mr. President, from the Water Department, we are seeing an arrears in the amount of some $2.7 million. Now, Mr. President, I am a little bit concerned about that. So here is what I'm proposing. They have responded with the increase in the water rates, and I think that is only fair, Mr. President, that as a good, caring government, that we give back something. And I'm saying to those persons who are in arrears, that if they are to settle this arrears, Mr. President, by the end of April, that we will offer them a 10% discount on the arrears. Not the current water bill. Let me make that clear. I'm hoping that they will still keep current. But the arrears, we are proposing a 10% discount, Mr. President.
The Honorable Spencer Brand. This amnesty period comes following amnesty periods extended by the Inland Revenue Department, spanning from June to December 2018. Students and teachers across the Federation are returning to the classroom today for the start of the second term of the school year. Students will be focusing on sports as they prepare for the annual sports meet. While the focus will be on sports, education officials will be focusing on the technical and vocational education and training to vet enhancement program. Junior Minister with responsibility for education here in Nevis, the Honorable Troy Liburd, says a partnership between the Nevis Island Administration NIA and the TVET Enhancement Program is aimed at better preparing students for the world of work.
There will be different levels of qualification that you can achieve, because we have some persons who are very academic who also want to be practical, and there will also be opportunities for them in TVET that they could follow that technical path and get high-level certification. When they're finished with high school, if they want to go on to tertiary institutions and pursue careers that are technically inclined, that they will have the necessary background and the necessary qualifications to get them into those areas.
Junior Minister with responsibility for education here in Nevis, the Honorable Troy Liburd. And finally, a joint service by the Combermere and Trinity congregations of the Methodist Church of the Nevis Circuit of the Leeward Islands District marked the start of activities marking the 190th anniversary of the Combermere Methodist Church. The renewal of the Covenant Divine Worship was held at the church on Sunday, 6 January 2019 and was carried live here on VON Radio. Church Pastor Reverend Stedward Pemberton, who took up the position in September 2018, gave a brief history of the church while addressing the congregation during the service.
The first attempt to set up a Methodist mission on Nevis failed when Dr. Thomas Cope sailed to Nevis from St. Christopher on Friday, 19th January 1787. He wrote in his journal, "We sailed to nearby Nevis, but returned shortly, since every door seemed shut against our mission." Nevertheless, over the next 42 years, Methodism would take root on our island, and after work was started in other parts of the island, a Methodist chapel was erected in the Society of Combermere in Newcastle in 1829.
The Combermere congregation is one of two congregations celebrating important anniversaries this year, the other being the Charlestown congregation, which will celebrate its 175th anniversary. Activities have been planned throughout this year for the celebration of these anniversaries. That's the national news segment. You can visit our website at www.vonradio.com or check us out on our Facebook at Van Radio and our Van Radio YouTube channel. News from across the region is next.
Home. It means
something different to everyone. It's a place you love, a place as unique as you are, a place where you can be yourselves, a place for life's big surprises, and not to mention the small ones. Moments to cherish and moments that last a lifetime. It's a place for nurture and a place where you can grow together. It's home. So whether you're building, purchasing, or renovating, the Bank of Nevis is here to open the door, giving you the confidence to dream and the help you need to get there with a mortgage loan from the Bank of Nevis. The Bank of Nevis Limited, improving the quality of life.
Welcome back. Another regional news in detail out of Antigua. Police over the weekend charged Mark Vas Nelson, a Bulgarian-Canadian citizen, with stealing more than $25,000 from a local bank's ATM. The authorities did not name the bank, but said the man used fraudulent means to obtain the funds. The alleged offenses took place over the period of 1 month from November 27th to December 27, 2018. Nelson was arrested last Friday after police searched his hotel and found what appeared to be a machine used in the act. Several credit cards were also found. Back in 2018, another Bulgarian was charged with larceny in connection with another ATM fraud. He was ordered by the court to repay close to $25,000. Out of Guyana. The need for media operatives to uphold the tenets of journalism were hammered home on Sunday morning by President David Granger at State House. He was at the time delivering remarks at his annual media brunch. The event was attended by representatives of several news agencies and ministers. Granger insisted on the need for training of local journalists. He said that the money for that was available for the GPA to utilize. Granger also spoke to the need for journalists to be accurate with their reporting. He also said that the government will lend its support to ensure that some form of history about the 74-year-old Guyana Press Association, GPA, can be published. Out of Dominica. 2 days after a post went viral accusing the country's national security minister of allegedly committing a number of criminal activities, Rayborn Blackmore has responded. He said he has filed a complaint to the police for criminal libel against an individual. In a Facebook post titled 3 Days for Baby Sarah, Blackmore was accused of stalking, assault, physical violence, brandishing of weapons, misuse of the police, official misconduct, and death threats. The National Security Minister described the post as malicious, mischievous, and a fabrication, and says that those responsible will be held accountable. Barbados's lone electricity utility has served notice that it wants an increase in electricity rates. The Fair Trading Commission, FTC, on January 3rd revealed it was notified by Barbados Light and Power Company Limited, BL&P, that it intended to submit a formal rate application by June. BL&P confirmed the development but said it was exploring the possibility of applying for a rate review in the latter part of 2019. The company sought its last such increase about 10 years ago, and rate increases were introduced in early 2010. The FTC announced that they were advised by the Barbados Light and Power Company Limited that the company will submit a formal rate application in the second quarter of 2019. As such, technical assistance will be required to support the Commission in undertaking its review of the application, relevant research, and drafting of its decision on the matter. That's it for Regional Stories. Stay with us for news from around the world. Welcome back, and now the international news in detail. President Donald Trump has refused to compromise on his demand for a wall to be built on the Mexican border, the cause of a partial government shutdown. He said he did not think he would have to reduce the $5.6 billion in funds he was demanding, and repeated a threat to declare a national emergency. His new chief of staff, Mick Mulvaney, said earlier he expected the shutdown to drag on a lot longer. Democrats refused to back the funding, calling the wall immoral. The political situation in Gabon is under control following an attempted military coup, a spokesman for the government has said. All 5 of the rebels who tried to take charge have now been arrested by the authorities. The junior officers claimed they seized power to restore democracy in oil-rich Gabon, where the ailing leader's family has ruled for 50 years. Tanks and armored vehicles could have been seen in the capital, Libreville. One of the rebels was on the run for a brief period before being found hiding under a bed, reports Radio France International. An 18-year-old Saudi woman who fled her family at the weekend has left the Bangkok airport under the care of the UN Refugee Agency, the head of Thailand's immigration police says. Thai immigration officials have tried to return Rahaf Mohammed Al Kunan, 18, to Kuwait, where her family is.
Today, if she faces harm, punishment, probation or killing, we must exercise the human rights principle in dealing with this case. After this, UNHCR and I will meet with her to see if she'd like to seek asylum or see where she wants to go.
And finally, actor Kevin Spacey has appeared in court to face a charge of indecent assault and battery stemming from an allegation of groping in 2016. A not guilty plea was entered on the 2-time Oscar winner's behalf by his lawyers during the hearing in the U.S. state of Massachusetts. He is accused of sexually assaulting an 18-year-old male after plying him with alcohol at a bar in Nantucket in 2016. Assault claims against him have also surfaced in London and Los Angeles. Mr. Spacey, 59, was mobbed by media as he arrived at the packed courtroom on the normally sleepy resort island of Nantucket today after arriving by private jet. The actor nodded when Judge Thomas Barrett told him he was not allowed to contact the alleged victim. He was released without having to pay bail after a 10-minute hearing. That's it for our news segments. The latest in sports is next.
Most of us spend the better part of each weekday at the workplace. So why not make your office environment the kind of setting that helps you function at your personal best by outfitting it with top quality furniture, high-end photocopiers, printers, versatile office supplies, and the latest technology. The friendly and knowledgeable staff at the TDC Business Center are happy to provide you with personalized service to help you create an office space that's the total package. TDC Business Center, providing solutions that work.
Welcome back on Other Sports in Detail. In the NBA, LeBron James, who has already missed 4 games with a strained left groin, will miss at least 3 more before being re-evaluated, the Los Angeles Lakers announced Friday. James suffered the injury on December 25th when the Lakers beat defending NBA champions Golden State 127-101. The Lakers have dropped 3 of 4 games without the 4-time NBA Most Valuable Player. In addition to missing Friday's home game against New York, James did not travel for the club's road trip to Minnesota on Sunday and Dallas today. James, who has been receiving daily treatment by the Lakers training and medical staff, is making progress on his recovery and will be re-evaluated in a week, making his availability for Wednesday's home game against Detroit unlikely. His next evaluation would come next Friday, the same day the Lakers visit Utah. 2 days later, the Lakers will entertain James's former club, the Cleveland Cavaliers. James ranks 5th in the NBA in scoring with 27.3 points a game, and is also averaging 8.3 rebounds and 7.1 assists a game. The Lakers are 21-19. In cricket, the Leeward Islands Hurricanes beat Trinidad and Tobago Red Force by 245 runs in their 4th round West Indies Championship match today. Chasing a victory target of 342, Red Force were bowled out for 96. Scores: Leeward Island Hurricanes 445 and 168 for 6 declared. Trinidad and Tobago Red Force 252 and 96. And Guyana Jaguars beat Barbados Pride by 6 wickets. Scores: Guyana Jaguars 548 and 48 for 4 declared. Barbados Pride 360 and 232. Still in cricket, Virat Kohli says captaining India to their first Test series victory in Australia is the proudest moment of his career. The 2-1 series win was confirmed when the 5th day of the 4th Test in Sydney was washed out by rain and the match was drawn. Scores: India 622 for 7 declared. Pujara 193, Pant 159 not out. Jadeja 81, Layan 4 for 178. Australia 306 for 0. Match drawn. Finally, West Indies off-spinner Shane Schillenford has been suspended from bowling in domestic cricket with immediate effect after an independent assessment found his action to be illegal. The assessment revealed that Schillenford's deliveries exceeded the 15 degrees limit permitted under playing regulations. Schillenford, 35, was reported for suspect action during the opening match of the West Indies domestic 4-day tournament in St. Lucia last month, where he finished with match figures of 5 for 115 in Windward Island's 125-run loss to Guyana. According to a CWI release, he will remain suspended until his action is found to be legal and is expected to undergo remedial work supervised by the Windward Islands franchise. That's it for sports. The general weather forecast is next. Welcome back. Another local weather forecast for St. Kitts and Nevis. There will be mostly fair and cool conditions tonight. There will be partly sunny skies tomorrow with a 40% or moderate chance of showers. Winds are east to northeast at 15 to 28 kilometers per hour or 8 to 15 knots with lighter spells overnight. Seas are 1.2 to 1.8 meters or 4 to 6 feet. Small craft operators should continue to exercise caution. Sunrise tomorrow would be at 6:42 a.m. And that's how we wrap up the mid-news package for today, Monday, 7th January 2019. Before we go, let's take a look at the headlines once again. Nationally, no homicides in the last quarter of 2018, but gun violence continues. And former CCJ president underscores importance of unity. Regionally, Bulgarian charged with stealing more than 25,000 from ATM in Antigua. Internationally, U.S. budget shutdown, I won't compromise on wall, says Trump. And in sports, LeBron James to miss at least 3 more games for Lakers. On behalf of the rest of the news team, I am Tashran Tyson, wishing you a pleasant evening.